Hey, you all, happy Monday. I hope you guys are having a good start to your week already. We haven't done a Monday motivation in a little while, so I was listening to some of my motivational stuff this morning while I was making my lunch and getting prepped for the day, getting ready to go to the gym. And I kind of came across one that made me kind of stop in my tracks, and I wanted to just pass it on with you all. So if you're watching this live, hashtag replay, let me know where you're watching from. You know what I've been really enjoying is drop some emojis about how your day is going so far or how your day is gonna go, because that's really something that I want us all to kind of reflect on every day is what happens throughout the day and how it changes the way that your day is. Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for hopping on. We're going to talk about discipline because it's something that I sucked at. And I want to. One of the reasons why I like to do these videos, you all, is because I like to kind of talk to myself. It's kind of like, I don't know, like if you ever see like actors or whatever, they used to practice, they talk in the mirror. And this is kind of like basically what I kind of do. It's kind of like my like live video journal, and I allow you all to jump on and check it out because I feel like some of this stuff is information that, I wish I would have known in the past. And one of my goals, one of my mottos in life is to try and be the person that I needed when I was younger. So thanks, y'all, as you're hopping on. Let me know where you're hopping on from. What's the weather like? It's finally going to be in the 50s and 60s here in Wisconsin and southeastern Wisconsin. So everyone is pumped up for that. Stop on in the video store if you're in the area. I always like to give a shout out for the video store too. But you all, I want to talk a little bit about discipline today. And I think it's something that maybe you're probably much better at it than I was. I'm still a big work in progress with it. But one of the things that I've learned, and I kind of noticed this through our vitamins and taking the same 3 steps every morning, which creates a routine, but finding simple routines in life. Finding stuff in life that you can do every single day that helps, that benefits your life. I mean, you also get stuck in simple routines that are bad for you. Like when I used to smoke every day, or when I used to drink every day, I don't know why I started messing with that. All of my room, like if you ever see behind me and stuff, all of this stuff in my office/room here in the apartment's just like little memories and little things that are just like sitting around. And this guy was sitting on something and I could not get him to stay. I don't know why I started messing with it, because it was probably like delicately sitting there, and of course now it's just going to fall over. So if something crashes down over here, we're just going to ignore it. So one of the things about these daily routines really is that they kind of show you who you are. Like you have a lot of this self-talk, and this is really just coming from my experiences, you all. I'm not some sort of expert by any means. I'm just talking to you from what I noticed, what my experiences are, and in hopes that maybe some of the stuff I say you'll relate to and also be able to learn from and help your life. So, I was in these routines of like drinking every day, which are negative, but it's something I did every single day. And you know what? That actually defined how I thought. And I actually got to a point where I was like, well, I can't not drink because that's going to change who I am. And I can't not smoke cigarettes, or I can't not smoke this or do that. And even if they were negative things, you get so used to them being part of your daily routine that it's almost like it defines who you are, and it creates the way that you think. And so what I'm trying to get to is when you find discipline, when you find stuff where you actually you do things that are hard, like going to the gym, or you do things that benefit your life, like taking a supplement or vitamins in the morning, or doing something the same thing every single day that's really good, that's good for you. That changes the way that you think too. That changes the way that you realize who you are. So for a long time, and I'm just telling you from my experience, for a long time I always just had a negative self-talk. I would be like, okay, something bad would happen, and be like, well, of course it happens. Bad stuff always happens to me. Like, why am I'm not even surprised? And you know what? That's really just kind of a defense mechanism created by those negative daily routines. I would wake up, I would think negatively, I would go throughout the day thinking negatively, bad stuff would happen to me. Well, obviously it's going to happen to me because I'm thinking negative. I'm not even finding any positive out of it. And then I would start drinking to try and get rid of that negativity, and that negativity would just stay there, because then the next morning I'd wake up and I'd be so disappointed in myself. And now, I had a beer when we went out for sushi last night. Like, it's completely changed from that. But that's only because I stopped that routine and I created discipline. When I wanted to have a drink, I said no. And then every time I said no, I got stronger. And it showed me that I was the kind of person who actually didn't need that drinking at all. I didn't need that negative thing at all. And it created a level of discipline in me that defined who I am. And that's what made it so much easier for me to do other stuff. And then last summer, I worked on the farm just to get our farm share. I didn't get paid. I worked 4 hours a day in the sun and the heat and the rain, whatever. And I mean, granted, I wasn't in the fields. I was cutting grass because that's what they found that I really like to do. But I was still in and on and off the lawnmowers and dealing with all sorts of different machinery I've never used before and typically would have been terrified about. But because I created a level of discipline throughout the year last year, I started to show myself that I created work ethic. And that work ethic came from that discipline. And so basically, you're training your mind through discipline to handle the hard shit. And sorry, pardon my French, but I'm just being real. And one of the things that I heard today that really stopped me in my tracks was the speaker in the video I was listening to talked about the fact that discipline it creates that shield almost, so then when you wake up in the middle of the night and you find out that your parents had died, or you wake up and your kid's really sick and you have to go to the hospital, you can handle these things. And yes, it's still gonna hurt. No, it's not trying to deny that feeling, but what it's doing is it's creating almost like a shield. It's creating a force field that allows you to accept it and keep moving along. I mean, there's a reason why I got it tattooed on my wrist, was because sometimes I have so much trouble realizing that. And there's stuff that you don't have to accept. I'm not saying accept everything. I'm just saying that sometimes you have to take it in and then learn from it, and discipline allows you to do that. And it's funny because I got this tattooed on me back in 2008, I think, way before I had any idea of these concepts, way before I had any ability to even practice them, way before I had any idea of work ethic and routine. I mean, I was calling in sick to Culver's when I was working there all the time, you all. I'm not here to lie to you. I definitely went through some shit. I definitely dealt with a lot of stuff, and I had no idea how to deal with it, and that just ran me deeper into the ground. And that's why I think I come on here too, is because I'm talking to my previous self and anyone out there who is dealing with that same sort of stuff, because you need to realize that these are key things that are it's important in your life, it's important in everyone's life, and it's gonna help, it's gonna reverberate out. The more you create discipline in your life, the better that you get about the things that you're supposed to do in your life that make your life better and help other people. That keeps reverberating out. Your wife, your husband, your kids, your coworkers, your employees, your employers, your family, everybody around you, your friends, all of them will realize and they will feel that difference coming from you, because you are thinking differently as soon as you create discipline, because you prove to yourself that you are a different person than what you thought you were. You prove to yourself that you're way, way better than you thought you ever could be. And that's what's so amazing about it, is that it really just steps you up to a higher level that you never even realized you needed to be at. You thought that you were totally fine. You're cruising along. You're just dealing with it. You're like, oh yeah, the downs, all of that is just a necessity. You just deal with it. But just dealing with it is the hardest part. And having discipline allows you to realize that that's going to happen. It's going to teach you something. You're going to move along with it. And you're going to be a better person because you know that you can do that. And that's the cool part about it. Self-talk is increased. We talked about that. Stop choosing stuff that isn't in your own self-interest. That's the negative routine. Those are the discipline that you teach yourself when you're doing the bad stuff. You gotta stop doing that. And I still have those problems. I still deal with that every once in a while. But I know that by stepping beyond that, by disciplining myself to disallow that to happen, I show myself I am not that kind of person anymore. And every time you show yourself you're not that kind of person anymore, you prove to yourself that you are the positive self-talk that you are in your head. If you already changed that positive self-talk and then you can help define it by proving yourself that you're going to stay on that track, it blows you away. It'll blow you away. And like I said, it'll reverberate out to everyone around you. Forego immediate pleasure for long-term self-respect. This is what I tell myself every time I want to eat a bag of sour gummy worms at the video store and I decide I'm just going to eat some fruit. It's like, no, that sour gummy worm, you really like that sour gummy worm, but the fact of the matter is it's going to make you feel ill. Tomorrow you're not going to be very proud of yourself for eating a whole bag of sour gummy worms. And you're probably going to get the same flavor and enjoy it just as much by eating some fruit and some berries and stuff. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, and then you do it. When you don't eat that gummy worm and you go and eat that fruit, you prove to yourself you are that type of person. You prove to yourself you can do whatever you want. It seems so silly because it's just gummy worms and fruit, but that's the little things. And those are also the little things that happen when you go and you eat those gummy worms instead. You prove to yourself that you're weak. You prove to yourself that you are not going to stick to your guns. And you prove to yourself you don't have that discipline. And that's what happens, and you start to go down that downward spiral. And you don't want that to happen. As soon as you see that happen, you have to make sure the next time. Yes, I guess you did eat a bag of gummy worms. But next time, don't. And if you stop yourself the next time, stop yourself the time after that, and the time after that, and you'll prove to yourself you are the type of person who has that discipline. And that's what's so amazing. Whew! Sorry, you all. I had to get that all out there. I think that's all in my notes. I have no idea how long I was talking. I kind of just all blinked out. But I hope that some of it made some sense to you all. And if you guys liked it, please pass it on. Drop a live or a replay if you're watching. Let me know how your day is going to go with some emojis. And we will talk to y'all soon. I am off to the gym to go work out the rest of this. Have a good day, you all. I love y'all.